Okay.
Okay.
We need to do. And then we'll.
We're recording.
We're recording. The Board of Trustees will now reconvene in open meeting. The time is 8:56 p.m. Central Time. At this time, I would like to turn the meeting back over to the superintendent to review the considered agenda and the consent agenda as part of our overall regular meeting agenda. So to you, Dr. Z.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pratt. I'm happy to have a conversation with all of you board members tonight about the agenda that we will discuss in a bit later on tonight. Under consent agenda, you will see 2 field trips, out-of-state field trips for Tomball Memorial High School, or rather I should say multiple trips for 2 high schools. There are 3 listed there, FFA, FFA, and FCCLA. And then, of course, the Tomball High School is asking for the same for the HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America. And then if you, again, look at that, you'll see the different destinations and dates for those trips. Moving on to the considered agenda, the first item is to approve the annual TEA waiver for staff development. As a reminder for you board members, as we discuss this, there are multiple waivers that we have every year, but they are sometimes for periods of time. So it's not something we have to bring to you annually. This is the only one that was up for waiver for this year. We're asking for the approval of purchase for iPads for the maintenance department in the amount listed, which is $16,840, still using bonds 2021 funds. There was one question asked by a board member, and hopefully you were able to see that response. But the team feels very comfortable with that equipment and cases that will be used to keep them protected. But I appreciate the thought, Mr. McStravick. The next item is to approve the purchase of Chromebooks for West Intermediate School and for district growth, of course, in the amount of $627,861. All of you were in attendance, so thank you again for all being in attendance of the beautiful ribbon cutting for West Intermediate, and that's just to make sure we are fully prepared for our West Tigers.
So Martha, real quick on that one. I think I had a question that was answered. I appreciate that, but I just want to make sure that with our new process of our replacement cycles, if you will, I want to make sure we don't purchase something too early and get it into a replacement cycle before it gets its full 5 years of use. So I guess I just want to make sure, and I think I got clarity on this, that everything that we purchase is going to be put into use, either as at West or elsewhere for growth or as a part of the replacement. But I just want to make sure that we're managing that piece of it, and just need. Yes. That's what I wanted.
And that head is shaking.
I wanted that head to shake, because I just want to make sure that our replacement cycle doesn't. We don't keep something on a shelf and lose a year of life.
Right. No, would not want to do that.
So we got it. Okay, good. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is also to look at the approval and purchase of computer labs for CTE teacher laptop refresh in the amount of $357,622.20. Again, still from bond 2021 funds. So it's exciting. You know, when we go out for a bond, there's a high ticket amount for technology, and over time you see those expenditures coming. And so I appreciate the time, the staff, the due diligence of OSL leadership, and then of course in tandem with technology, looking over what is in the best interest as we move forward.
Can I ask a question on that one?
Absolutely.
Mr. McStravick, did your question get answered? Did all of us get copied on it? The answer to your question? Was it later in the afternoon, maybe?
I got a response, and everybody was copied on it.
I missed it. So
I can't remember exactly what time, but I must confess I didn't get it sent till a little bit late.
Just a little.
I just
That's
didn't want to
okay.
repeat a question that had already been asked, because I think I was thinking along the same lines of you. Whenever I saw item D, the notes on that, I was recalling Dr. Gutierrez's explanation on the transportation items, how we kind of use parts from the buses that don't run anymore, kind of gut them and use parts to keep everything running. I had that thought in mind, and I really appreciated that, and I know our taxpayers appreciate that mentality. And I wondered if we kind of do the same thing with our computer labs, because, it said a 6-year replacement cycle, right? But some things you can use longer than 6 years. For example, the large monitors, the keyboards, perhaps, maybe you just replace the hardware. But do we use items like that longer than 6 years if we can?
We keep the monitors as long as we can. As long
Okay.
as we want to ensure that students have an equitable experience in those labs. In some places, it was a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So we're ensuring that every student has the same capabilities. And all computers come with new keyboards.
I guess I thought mainly the large monitors, I know those are.
So definitely want to keep them for as long of a lifespan as we can, but good question. The next item is to approve the renewal of the student accident insurance, including catastrophic umbrella coverage for Texas Kids First, for a total premium of $70,424. And of course, this will be for the 25-26 school year. There was a question about that as well. It is the same deductible amount, so we are comfortable with that at $250.
And I'm just going to chime in because I do every year, but I appreciate you answering the question on the deductible, because
Sure.
that's one thing, when we had been in a zero deductible environment, but we felt like it was best to move for a variety of reasons to the $250 deductible, but we don't want, or my vote for going that way was, I don't want any child not to be able to afford the deductible, and I think
Correct.
you've done an excellent job. You and your team are doing an excellent job of making sure that's not the case. That-
Dr. Gutierrez does a good job with his
Good.
team managing that, so we hear you and we agree with you on that. Very good. The next item is to award the request for RFP, number listed, for depository services for Prosperity Bank for the initial period from July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2027, with an option to 3 additional 2-year extensions if needed, if wanted.
Is this the bank we already use?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate that it's a Houston
is.
headquartered bank.
Item G is to approve the selection of Elliser Constructors Incorporated under the RFP listed as a general contractor to complete the renovation of building number 4 within the TIC with a construction budget of $2,526,800, including a contingency budget of $300,000, with an overall project budget of $2,646,800, still using bonds 2021 funds. As a reminder, that piece in building number 4 is what we've discussed in the past for our maintenance, to bring that up to the standards that we would like to be able to have our maintenance staff continue their work there. Any
But-
particular questions?
okay, so this is different than warehouse 7.
Oh. Do we have the schematic attached? It was in the board book, correct?
Oh, yes.
Okay, it was not. Can we email that to them first thing in the morning? Okay.
Can we get it, is there a way to get it this evening?
During the break, we can,
Yeah, we get that for you.
during the break, between this meeting and the regular, maybe. we
You just
can
want to
prepare
see
talk
where
about
building, yeah, where that,
for
okay,
$2.5 million.
Sure.
Good.
sure.
Yeah, I remember there was just one page attached to it, right? It was the rubric, the scoring rubric. I was
Yes.
surprised for such
Yeah,
a large.
We apologize, that wasn't
Okay.
attached, but we will get that to you. And then we'll come back to that. The final item is to approve a resolution expressing intent to finance expenditures to be incurred for bond 2025. That, of course, allows us to start using those dollars as we've done in the past.
Can you explain item A? I don't understand what that is.
The TEA waiver? So we have multiple waivers every year for a variety of different things per Texas Education Agency. The only one that is in the year in which it's up is the one item waiver for professional development. As far as Dr. or Amy, do you want to cover the specifics on that one?
So this particular waiver, basically the state allows school districts to apply for waivers where we would say outside of the norm of the expectation of the way things are run, where we are applying for a waiver, basically informing the state that we're going to do it differently. So for the staff development one, it's where we can have staff PD days and count those into our calendar. These come up every next year. A lot of them are on a 2-year cycle. So next year you'll see a list of them. Other types of waivers would be like the optional flexible school day. So like our students who are at our Connections Academy, Success Academy, they can go to high school and get credits, but not have to go to the required hours during the day. Just different things that we are basically noting with the state and they approve that we're able to do outside the norm of expectations.
Maybe you can drill down a little bit though too on the staff development with respect to the number of hours that or number of days under the contract and number of hours students have to be in class, right? I mean, the waivers allowing us to do it to reduce the, not make them have to work more time, right? Just maybe drill down on that a little bit.
Right. So it basically, if you, the description will say that it provides for a maximum of 2,100 total minutes to use for professional development that can be counted into our operational minutes. So several years back, the state went from, instead of saying students had to go to school a certain number of days, they have to go to a certain number of minutes. And so we have instructional minutes, operational minutes. And so the waiver is basically us saying, we're going to put these staff development days into our calendar, and up to 2,100 of those minutes, we can count towards the required minutes for students, as long as the staff development is pertaining to instructional strategies that affect learning for students. And so when the state went to minutes over days, that's when you saw districts come out with those creative calendars where, you know, different weeks off, 4-day weeks, things like that. It allows them to extend their school day. So when these waivers just go into the minutes that we can apply to those student minutes, and it's 2,100. So we have to tell the state, these are the days in our calendar that we would like to apply.
So the state gives permission with this waiver, I guess, to have a little bit less student instruction time and replace it with instructional
Professional
focus.
learning time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. And that concludes the meeting. We can have that one item to you shortly. Turn it back
Okay,
over.
so, you know, the format's a little different. We're in the workshop meeting now. Very shortly, we'll adjourn this meeting and we'll then pick up on the regular meeting. And I'm just going to be deliberate and pause because this is really the time that, other than that one piece of information, that this is a great time to ask the superintendent for any clarifying information on any of the items that we've got on the regular meeting agenda. So I'll just pause and make sure there's no other questions. When we get into the regular meeting, we'll ask the superintendent to show a schematic and some more information in regard to the renovation item at the Tomball Innovation Center. Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion for adjournment? Motion made by Mr. Lewandowski, seconded by
I second it.
Mrs. Salem, Mrs. Tina Salem. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Okay. Motion carries unanimously. The meeting is now adjourned at 9:10 p.m. Central.